Well, hello. This is Rosa, rcgkreations. How you doing? You know when you're baking, I'm going to put a link of my beef broth that I just made. I baked a bunch of my frozen bones, baked them in the oven, and then you left over with a bunch of crusties. Well, this is my cleaning remedy to clean out my pans, so I don't have to sit here and scrub. I add my homemade citrus cleaner. I'll put a link to the video on that in the description box on how I make it. But basically all it is you slice up your citrus. Don't drain it, don't do nothing, just slice it up. Put it all in a glass jar. Fill it with water, preferably distilled water, because you never know what your chlorine's going to be doing depending on where you're at. So try to use distilled water. Okay. You let it sit for a solid, I think it's 3 months. I'll do a pop-up on how to do that. But I also will put a video link to the video that I did on how to make your own citrus cleaner. This is the best homemade grease cutting cleaner out there. I've done all kinds of recipes and none of them really work. This is the only one that seems to work, or at least for me anyway. So I sprinkled some baking soda and cornstarch. This is just me. This is what works for me. Then you add your citrus cleaner. And of course it's going to fuzz. And that's what you want. But make sure it coats the entire. You want liquid all inside your pan. You walk away, leave it alone for 15 minutes. Come back, manually scrub it. I got my little paper towel right here. And then I'm going to use my little spatula to scrape any extra stubborn ones that didn't come, because it's not going to take everything out. I know it's not. It just doesn't do it. But it takes, I would say, a good 90% of it off. Then you just manually scrub the rest of it off in your 15 minutes and you're done. So when we'll bring it back when we get ready to do all this as soon as we've washed them. Okay, we're back with the cleanup. It's been a few hours. I let it sit longer than normal because I had a nap. Getting up at 5 o'clock is a long day. So this is just the residual of the soap. Not the soap, the powder. All that's in here, remember, is those 2 powders and the citrus cleaner, my homemade citrus cleaner. And I'm just using my little spatula to see if there's any cruddies that didn't come out. My water's on hot. My little paper towel. Oops. I just want a slow dribble. And then let me show you. It pretty much took almost everything off. Of course, you feel it, like there's a crusty right here, there's a crusty right there. Get your trusty paper towel. I use a paper towel instead of using my wash rag just because I don't want it to stain. And there's all that grease that's still there, the residual grease. And as y'all know, my subscribers know I have weak hands, so it ain't taking much elbow grease at all to clean all this up. Again with the hot water. Let's do a quick rinse. And I do see some crusties. There's still some crusties right here. Get my trusty SOS pad. This is just me. Use whatever it is that you have. I'm old school. I still like my old products that work. They haven't reformulated, so as long as they haven't reformulated and they still work, I will continue to use them. Now let's feel A little bit of crusties right there. So I don't make so much scraggly noise. I like to put my wash towel on that little little bar there, the separator. As I'm adding extra pressure with my SOS pad, just cleaning it off. Again, hot water. So all I'm using is hot water. No more crusties. Yay! Now I get to wash it. I'm going to use my trusty little, this was a gift. It's supposed to be working on pots and pans. There's a soft cloth side and there's a scrubber side. I'm just using the scrubber side just to get any additional little particles that may be there, maybe not be there. I'm using my garbage disposal side. Hot water again. All the crusties are gone. Yay-hoo. Off to the next one, but some stuff got on the top. And I'm going to repeat the process with the next two. Oops, I don't want to get that in there with all the cruddy stuff. Now this one's got a lot of crud. Let me dump some of that water. As you can see how I've got a lot of that crud right in here. Same paper towel. This is our trusted old Bounty. And I'm using my fingernail to scrape any additional crusties. That one's a little hard, so we're going to leave that alone for right now. I'm just doing the generic first step of cleaning. And of course, if your paper towel falls apart, grab a new one. Again, hot water. I'm just rinsing off all the yuckies. Just rinse some of that junk off that paper towel. Paper towel's still good. I know I felt some crusties. Get my SOS pad. And do the same thing. Get on all the grooves. You can kind of feel as you're moving around with the SOS pad where there's a crusty. Now I'm feeling for more crusties. I don't feel no more crusties. I think I got them all. Again, hot water. Don't forget to move my SOS pad out of the way. I don't want it in the same sink. You don't want to put too much water on your SOS pad because you want it a little bit firm. but they do soften up as they get used. Yay! No, oh, there's a little crusty right there. Okay, that's gone. Those are gone. Get myself a little bit more soap. Now I think this is ready to put in the dish tray. And so I like to put them all in there when all my pans are done. Then once all my pans are done, then I manually dry them so they don't get rust on the tips of where the water is at. Rinse this back off, hot water. And ta-da! No crusties. All done. Now we're going to get the big one. Okay. Here's the big cookie sheet. Same steps again. Same paper towel. The citrus cleaner, because it's made only of a citrus. Oranges, lemon, grapefruit, any citrus fruit. And all you do is cut it in half. Stick both sides, juices and everything in a glass container. I don't know why, but glass seems to work better than plastic. So I've been using this for years. So then I put a piece of parchment on top of the opening. Then I use my lid that comes with that jar and close it tight. Now some of these little scrubbies get your little pan cleaner. This is from Pampered Chef. No, this is from Lodge when we got our cast iron. But this is a good, it's called a scraper, hot scraper. So it does some of that elbow grease for you. Okay. Oh. I'll be right back. My phone alarm is going off. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now let's get this bottom half of this pan. And let's see if there's any crusties there. Okay. I'm done with this. This is going in the trash can. Hot water rinse. Let's see where we're at. Okay, and you can see there's still some crusties right in here. I can see them. I don't need to worry about feeling them. Go back to the SOS pad. Start on the top. I'm adding a little bit of elbow grease in here. Getting in the corners. I am putting some elbow grease as I'm scrubbing. Switch hands, that one's getting tired. And I don't feel the SOS pad sticking on anything or catching on anything, so I think all the crusties are gone. A little too hot. I'm going to get my hot water. I'm just going to rinse this off. Let's see. Oops. Keep on forgetting to put my SOS pad in the other sink because I don't want it to get overly wet. No more crusties. And look, whoops. Let's get that excess water. See when you do the extra scrubbing, how it gets rid of the residue? So you can continue if you want to, scrub some more of this to get more of this crusty stuff off of there, but I'm okay with this just the way it is because my back is hurting. I'm tired. Even though I just had my 2-hour nap, I felt just a little bit of a crusty there. And I can see just a little bit of elbow grease, SOS pad, and it's starting to get a little bit cleaner. Okay, hot water. Rinse it off again. All the crusties are gone. So see how much more easier this is? And your cookie sheets, baking sheets, whatever you want to call them, are nice and clean, ready for your next use. Now I'm just scrubbing everything to make sure all the oil from the grease has come off everything, and I say that I'm done. Look at that. We are done. Get my towel. Let's dry this off. The other ones are draining in the dish tray. But let me dry my hand. My other hand. We're totally done. You can't get any easier than that on using homemade citrus cleaner, baking soda, and cornstarch. I thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.